This episode of ETC Party Time is sponsored by Go90 for Transformers: Titans Return. Watch new episodes of Transformers every Tuesday on Go90 and Go90.com.
EA, no, you're not just some stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder. You're a bunch of fucking dumb pieces of You're the textbook definition of dick-headed for brains motherfuckers. God damn it!
Here we go!
No, you fucking cuck!
Peggy 18.
There is no goddamn way that you haven't heard about this diabolical, Sith-like EA shit that's been going down regarding their new Star Wars video game, Battlefront 2. Not to be confused with 2005's Battlefront 2, a good game. But between the memes and the wars going down on Twitter and the comment sections of various Reddit posts, the actual reasoning behind what the hell is going on might have been lost. So we're gonna do our best, with the help of people who are obviously following this a lot closer than we are, to briefly explain why this blew up like the Death Star in Alderaan and why people are justifiably pissed off.
Alderaan got blown up. Now we got to make up for it. After we got burned last year by the first Battlefront being a big, beautiful waste of fucking time, there was no way that either of us were gonna be interested in returning for the sequel, no matter what they added to it or how they expanded it. If decades worth of iconic maps and characters couldn't keep our attention for more than a week or two after that one was released, I can't imagine how this one could do any of that either. So right off the bat, I think we should probably apologize for actually being truly uninformed
And uninterested.
regarding this whole loot system and character unlock thing that seems to be plaguing the game. But to sum it up, here's what's going on.
Number one!
Number one!
EA is publishing this game. They are famous for wringing every last fucking peso out of all your little pockets, regardless of which title they're putting out. Just take a look at the Steam page for The Sims 3, a game that is obviously geared towards children and adults who act like children. And in order to own the complete and final version of Sims 3 with all the DLC, that would cost you at least $400. That's enough to improve your own life. But
Take care
fuck
of your
that.
own child.
I'm gonna make my life in this video game a happy one.
It's got a party hat on it.
And that $400, that's years after release, with what you could assume are some, I don't know, decent discounts at this point. It's fucking predatory.
Bad.
So why would a game geared toward teenagers and adults who act like teenagers be any different?
I don't know if you're surprised, but it's not.
Your nostalgia is currency.
Typically, as sad as it is to say, but typically in most AAA games, you can now spend real money on loot crates and receive cosmetic items which have little to no effect on the actual gameplay and just make you look like an asshole online. There's also the trend of season passes and pre-order bonuses, which are shitty because unless you purchase them, you won't be offered a complete game and might not have certain maps or whatever, but still, doesn't affect the base game, really, aside from the fact that 6 months from now, you'll be playing the same few maps that you started with alongside the rest of the cheap assholes online. Sad.
Battlefront 2 is basically committing the cardinal sin when it comes to the already pathetically accepted inclusion of loot boxes, which is allowing players to get better stats, weapons, and characters by spending real money on this shit. It's literally pay to win.
Yes.
And someone who knows way more about this stuff than we do made a pretty good post on the Out of the Loop subreddit explaining how it works and why it sucks. It's honestly the most descriptive and easiest to understand explanation that we could find, so we'll let user Textual Deviant explain. While some games might offer loot boxes for cosmetic options, Battlefront 2 is using loot boxes as their primary form of progression through the multiplayer content via star cards. Each class, including starfighters in the game, has 3 star card slots that alter either your character's attributes in minor ways, your character heals when they do melee damage, for example, or your abilities. Your tracking dart is replaced with an ability that begins your healing immediately. Naturally, this raised concerns, and it was the primary piece of feedback in the beta about a month or so ago. If players can just buy a ton of crates with the premium currency, they could get some serious advantages. After the beta was over though, EA and DICE came out with a statement on progression saying they were committed to keeping it fair, and they outlined a few reasons how. A few of those were that the most powerful forms of star cards could only be gained after reaching a certain rank. In other words, a kid with dad's credit card couldn't buy $200 worth of crates and have all the best stuff right away. Likewise, weapons would be obtained through challenges instead of randomized through loot crates. The community was, for the most part, mollified. While not exactly happy with loot crates, it was deemed the lesser of two evils compared to ruining the community with paid maps. Well, a few days ago, people with Origin access were able to access the full game for 10 hours as part of the trial process, and what we found there was rather disturbing.
The post continued, in addition to all the loot box shenanigans, we found out that hero characters, iconic ones like Chewie, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, and Princess Leia, were locked.
And loaded.
They cost credits, in-game currency, to unlock. Leia and Chewie and the like, they weren't too terribly priced, but Luke and Vader clocked in at 60,000 credits each, which players estimate could take up to 40 hours of game time to unlock if one was just playing the game. Now seems like a good time to mention that credit gain also is strange. Everyone gets more or less the same credits per game, and the amount is based off the time of the game. Someone on the top of the scoreboard will get the same rewards as someone near the bottom.
What?
One might assume pure greed, but it's a little more insidious than that. Because you can't buy these heroes with premium currency, just credits. So now, players are in an uncomfortable position. Do you want to unlock arguably the most iconic characters in the entire franchise? Or do you want to power up your troopers? Because you only get so many credits. Do you spend now and get stronger, or save up and get more heroes to play? Of course, there is a way around that. Just buy some premium currency and grab your loot boxes with it. And hey, duplicate star cards even give you credits, so you can get those heroes even faster.
Diabolical!
Absolutely, and boring if you're not a fan of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Just a complete waste of everyone's time.
Slog. So once the reality of how these star cards could be attained hit the internet, thanks to early access players, a shitstorm started brewing, which led to a post earlier this week on the Battlefront subreddit, where someone aired their grievances about paying full price for a game and not being able to play as Darth Vader. And wouldn't you know it? Someone from EA's community team decided to stop by and help the situation out by explaining their reasoning behind it.
Oh, what a great idea. Let's see how this plays out.
Guys, I'm gonna level with you. I am fucking you in the ass.
Let's rap about it.
So in doing this, the member of EA's team had inadvertently gifted the world with the most downvoted comment in Reddit's decade-long history. Or more, they've been around for a while.
Yeah.
At the time that we're writing this, it sits at a score of negative 675,000 votes.
You would assume that there's more than that because they at least got 10 or 12 upvotes from the rest of the community team.
And from their bots.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And from their boss,
And
too.
from Russia. Russia's trying to push this game on us.
It's true.
To divide us. They're trying to divide America by publishing this game.
Exactly.
Show us the receipts. Publish your tax returns.
For the sake of this video, we'll read the response that the EA community team left. It said, the intent is to provide players with a sense of pride and accomplishment for unlocking different heroes. As for cost, we selected initial values based upon data from the open beta and other adjustments made to milestone rewards before launch. Among other things, we're looking at average per player credit earn rates on a daily basis, and we'll be making constant adjustments to ensure that players have challenges that are compelling, rewarding, and of course, attainable via gameplay. We appreciate the candid feedback and the passion the community has put forth around the current topics here on Reddit, our forums, and across numerous social media outlets. Our team will continue to make changes and monitor community feedback and update everyone as soon and as often as we can.
I love how dismissive it is to just say, I admire your passion.
You guys are very passionate.
I love how passionate you are.
It is humbling to know how much you care. But
here's the thing, guys.
Go fuck yourself.
We paid $1 billion for this license. We are making no money. We are bleeding cash.
Would it surprise
We're
you to
a
know
publicly traded
that,
company, guys.
that at any moment EA could shut down DICE Studios? Because we're really sweating it over here,
We've
guys.
shut down hundreds of beloved game studios over the years, and we'll do it again.
We've ruined numerous
do it again.
franchises. Do you think this is safe? No. Buy some fucking loot boxes, you pieces of shit, or we'll shut it down.
We'll fucking
Star Wars
do it.
canceled.
We got a lot of games, buddy. You think this one's that important to us? We're fucking Electronic Arts.
Did you see what we did to Mass Effect?
We're on the NASDAQ.
And that was original IP. We owned it.
So all of that jibber jabber accounted to the fact that nothing was really going to change in regards to allowing payment for top tier content in the game. It basically skirted that whole issue in favor of saying, but it's gonna feel good as hell when you do unlock Vader after 40 hours, huh?
You are gonna feel accomplished, that's for sure.
Hey kid, why don't you just start building a hill out of tiny pebbles? Look, you made a hill.
Great for you.
And it only took you a year.
Oh, look, you got that Battlefront game. Oh, cool. Oh, Darth Vader. You spent 40 fucking hours to get that character?
There he is.
Wow, what a loser.
Yeah, no, now at this point, if you actually play the game, you see someone playing as Vader.
They're either a rich asshole or a fucking loser.
Yeah, what a loser.
No middle ground.
God, Vader's so lame right now.
Yeah, jeez.
So anyway, thanks EA. Obviously, the community reacted exactly how you could have easily assumed, with a massive boycott and a meme war, which dominated the news cycle not only on gaming-centric websites, but all the way up to major media outlets as well.
Yeah.
It's literally gotten so much traction that Wall Street is now worried, and you know damn well that Disney's probably fucking pissed, especially when they have Episode 8 coming out in just 1 month, and this game is literally geared towards their property's most diehard fans, and ones that maybe needed a few more member berries about this franchise before buying a ticket to that new movie. Tickets are expensive. I mean, holy shit, they really fucked the dog on this one.
Hi, it's me, Kathleen Kennedy. Can I speak to the head of EA, please?
This is bad optics.
Oh shit, I'm the head of EA. Kathleen Kennedy's calling from Disney. What do I do? Oh, I know. This is all DICE's fault. We'll get DICE to do an AMA on the phone with the head of Disney.
We'll shut them down. We've shut down dozens of beloved
We'll fucking
studios.
do it.
Yeah. Don't worry. We shut down studios all the time.
It's what we're best at.
You're fired.
I love doing it. It's fun.
Let's go find some Korean studio. It costs half as much to make the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blue Hole.
Why don't you guys make
You
a
got
Star
what?
Wars?
6 employees? You
Yeah.
got the franchise.
Yeah. Yeah, the zones close in because the Death Star starts blowing parts of the map away.
What they should have done is just released it as a alpha game that they never have to finish. That's what game companies do now.
Yeah.
You never get criticized if you just say the game's not done and we have literally no fucking clue when it will be.
I love how
when it'll cost you 40
throughout all of this, and we're about to get into it, they essentially admit that the game will never be finished. This game that you're paying for up front, like, guys, we're gonna be fixing this thing for months, is basically what they're saying. Like, yeah, we understand. But okay, hold on. Break, because how much extra effort or money could this really cost gamers who purchased Battlefront 2 for, at the very least, $65?
You don't have $65 in your pocket right now, you poor ass? Why don't you feed your kids before you go playing video games? A luxury thing to do.
But Elliot, say you bought it. How much extra are you gonna put in? Well, one fan site in particular, they did the math, and they broke down exactly what you would need to do or spend in order to unlock everything this game had to offer.
They did the math. They did the Star Wars math.
Here's the breakdown from Star Wars, the Old Republic Strategies.com.
What a terrible URL.
It was a better time. No, it's actually spelled out like SWOTR strategies.com. And I can already tell what you're thinking. And yes, it does look like that. First gameplay time. Meaning they haven't updated the website in like 10 years.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I could have guessed. Yeah.
First, the gameplay time. There is a grand total of 324 cards. Upgrading these will require a total of 155,520 crafting parts. This requires opening a grand total of 3,111 loot crates, which will require 4,528 hours of gameplay.
What, you don't play games for 4,528 hours regularly? You fucking scrub? Don't call yourself a gamer. Casual piece of shit.
We did the due diligence. We released the game after midterms. What?
Now,
okay, wait. The financial burden, Elliot. You're forgetting the financial burden. If you broke it down and chose that route, it's broken down like this: the 600 credits received from a hero crate is worth 27% the cost of a hero crate. This is equivalent to 30 crystals. To account for this, I reduced the cost of a hero crate from 110 crystals to 80 crystals. 12,000 crystals can be bought for $100. Opening the required 3,111 loot crates requires 248,880 crystals if you purchase $100 crystal packs. That will cost you $2,100.
Wow.
Cash in that 401k, poor ass.
We're talking about people that buy life-size Boba Fett statues to keep in their studio apartment.
Yeah,
So
I got Vader. I got Luke. Yeah, I got Princess Leia. She was discounted. You know why. It's not a big deal. Let's get through this. I'm gonna whip some ass because these characters are better than all the scrubs.
Sorry, landlord, I can't pay rent this month. I bought too many Sideshow collectibles. Would you like to come over and see my dolls?
Please don't touch them.
Now, anyway, after the initial Reddit comment and a community manager who stupidly called the fans complaining armchair developers, nice, There was just a gigantic snowball of shit, coming out faster than most people outside of the diehard community could even consume. There were, of course, hundreds, probably thousands of memes just completely slamming EA. There were death threats sent to one of the developers. Hold on a second. No, that was literally that was just fake news because the account, that developer's account had nothing to do with EA and they changed all their info once they were called out, but not before a ton of outlets had falsely reported on it.
Whoops.
And then after all the initial backlash, they were like, oh, okay, look, guys, EA here, we're gonna fix it.
Don't worry. Your prayers have been answered.
So they did the right thing. They reduced the credits needed to unlock these items by 75%.
Wow.
But they also reduced the amount of credits given at the end of the campaign, and they inserted progression tactics in their arcade mode, which are taken directly from the most predatory mobile games where you could only get a certain number of credits per day. And the game would then instruct you to come back later to earn more.
You've earned all the credits today. See you tomorrow.
All they need is to force you to download a mobile app that you can't turn the notifications off of. It's like, get back on your fucking PS4, you scrub. You're missing out on all these jewels. Chris?
Yeah, now there was the now infamous Reddit AMA where the devs just talked in circles about how the game was going to continue to be updated and adjusted as they see fit and as they learn from player interaction. Basically, let's break it down the T.U.G.S way. Here's what they said. Let's see what we can actually get away with once the game launches. Maybe people will still buy it. How much will they actually spend in the game? Maybe these idiots are just a vocal minority and we can still count on the millions of complete fucking morons out there with their parents' credit cards. Cool. And while I guess it's nice to see the developer be responsive and candid with a rabid fan base, it kind of just makes us feel really bad for DICE. Their necks are on the line here through basically no fault of their own.
Let's take some bets. Do you think DICE is going to be here around a year from now, or are they going to fucking sit on this sword?
They're going to consolidate all the dices. There's many die.
They're going to fall on the lightsaber.
Yeah, I feel bad for DICE. They can make an incredibly amazing game and then have EA just turn it on its head and allow the vitriol to be focused on DICE instead of on EA. 5D chess, and that costs extra.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So in addition to all of the consumer backlash that EA is facing, even Blizzard took time away from making their own very popular games filled with loot boxes, albeit cosmetic ones, to take shots at EA, with this video promoting the fact that StarCraft 2 was going free to play.
Huh.
Yeah, that's ironic because thanks in part to EA's sad pay-to-win practices, there's now an investigation being launched by the Belgian Gaming Commission on whether or not these loot box systems are gambling. And the other example they cite, aside from Battlefront 2, is Overwatch.
Oh. Whoops.
Obviously, EA is on a whole other level than Blizzard, but we've already said our piece about how even the cosmetic loot boxes are cancerous.
Yeah. EA has already responded to the investigation, saying in a statement, quote, "Creating a fair and fun game experience is of critical importance to EA." Wink. The crate mechanics of Star Wars Battlefront 2 are not gambling. A player's ability to succeed in the game is not dependent on purchasing crates. Players can also earn crates through playing the game and not spending any money at all.
Hey, shareholders, watch this.
Could you imagine if, like, Belgium's commission was like, yeah, but
why are people giggling in the background?
but right here it shows that you have to play for 40 hours to get one of the characters.
That's just a language barrier.
But technically, you see, you can do it. It's like any game being like, I mean, you can unlock the strongest player in the game or you can play for 10,000 hours. It's technically not gambling because you can unlock the character.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
Anyways, the statement continued. Once obtained, players are always guaranteed to receive content that can be used in-game. And they probably followed that up with, if you think we're scared of this investigation, you should see the shit we're going through on Reddit. Nothing can scare us now, we've seen it all. You think Belgium scares us?
Belgium?
We've been on Reddit.
You guys have waffles and fucking French fries.
Yeah. We've been on Reddit going through the shit for a week straight. They ruined our stock price.
We got an office on the beach in Santa Monica for no reason. We're that cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, just so this entire episode isn't dominated with stupid fucking Star Wars Battlefront bullshit, a game that we were never interested in to begin with, here's something else that's really stupid from the gaming industry this week. Remember when it was announced that GameStop was going to try to compete with Redbox or GameFly by introducing the most innovative, totally not going to fail idea ever and rent games out to customers?
You don't say.
Well, it already failed.
Don't tell me that, Elliot. It couldn't be. How?
It was called the Power Pass. it's bad. And for $60,
Power pass denied.
for $60, you would get 6 months of game rentals, one at a time, and then at the end of the 6 months, you could keep one of the titles. Well, it seems like a pretty good deal to me.
Power pass denied. All right, so this had a soft launch just last month, and within just 1 month, they've already thrown the idea out.
Wait, we're not making any fucking money.
This doesn't make sense. You mean we have to stock we have to buy these games from the publishers, keep them stocked in case people want to rent them, and then just give them away? This sounds like a bad deal.
Yeah.
I mean, are you shocked? Neither are we. With games moving more and more towards digital, and with other retailers doing a much better job handling physical releases that, some people still want, it's always going to be a challenge for poor GameStop, to survive as a company. They're basically, I went to that one that I went to a couple months ago and saw the show on. It was like, it looks like a Hot Topic now as much as a GameStop.
They're doing their best.
Yeah. Hey, I know you didn't buy Zelda here. You probably purchased it digitally, but we got the Zelda t-shirts. Look at her.
Prima guide.
Look at him. There he is, Zelda, right on the front.
They should just switch their business model to just being a chain of pawn shops.
Sure.
That's essentially what they already are, but they're only buying games and consoles. If they could buy anything,
Guitars,
for dirt cheap,
anything you can steal. Yeah, I found this. I mean, I own this guitar.
My name's Elliot, and this is my GameStop. Over the years, I've seen a lot of strange shit come through here.
Listen, I'm gonna break it
The
down.
one thing
for
I
you.
know is
These old PlayStation 3s, they're very large. They take up a lot of space.
I'm
in the
running a
back.
business
I'm
here.
trying to run a business. Here's what I can do. I can give you 10 cents store credit, or I can give you $5 if you come and get it in 10 weeks and pay me back.
I got this set of golf clubs. I'm trying to buy a PS4. Well, I'll give you $30. But I bought these golf clubs for $1,000.
I'm trying to run a
$30.
business here.
That'd take up a lot of space.
Yeah, you understand. Anyways.
So anyway, yeah, that GameStop's whole game rental misstep is just another mistake in a long line of bad ideas. It really makes you wonder how long they can hold out. Speaking of holdouts, though, Shibby held out on playing Destiny for at least half a decade, but now he's hooked. Even if he denies it right now in his review, don't believe him, because that's just how addicts talk.
No, I'm not. I'm not addicted.
Take it, Shibby.
Feels like I'm walking on sunshine.
Whoa! It's time to feel good. Star Boys and Space Girls. This week I'm reviewing a game that is fairly new release, something we've talked about before on T.U.G.S, a game in which sometimes you shoot robots or other actual humans in PvP. A game in which, if you grind for the most meta loot drops, you will most likely have a leg up in the PvP environments. A game in which a lot of people hate because it's not the original. Of course, I'm talking about the actual release of Destiny 2 on the PC. About time. Now, viewer, I know you might be thinking, but Shibby, you've reviewed this game like 3 times. Look, late summer did not have a lot going on in video games, and I had to meme it up on the Destiny 2 beta. That time, I had no investment in my character, the lore, my gear, or what it took to earn some of the things that were just hashtag blessed upon me in those previews. Now, viewer, I understand everything. I mean, as best as a drunken giraffe can, I suppose. Drunken. I waited my 48 days from the console release to the PC release. At that time, I did not plan on playing at all. I had PUBG, Fortnite BR, and Escape from Tarkov for my looting and shooting experiences. I was perfectly content eating all that ass. But then, from the ethical gaming gods, a code slid into my DMs and I thought, why not? I'll check this Destiny 2 bullshit out and just play the story and see the memes and move on with my story gaming career. Now, 2 weeks later, I'm hooked for the time being. I did not play Destiny 1 as that was for plebeian console players. Yeah. Controls are for kids, or not serious PC games like Rocket League or Overcooked. Destiny 2, as we all saw in beta, is extremely optimized, graphically beautiful, and nominated for a few end-of-the-year awards, one of them being sound design. The music score, other than that stupidly loud introduction splash screen, is top tier like Halo. Bungie and their composers obviously know what they're doing. Now, don't get me wrong, viewer. I have my complaints, such as Blueberries not knowing how to start the heroic public events, the team shoot meta in PvP, hunters and their dumb capes, the tower needing at least 2 more fast travel points, and apparently not a ton to do in the end game, quote unquote. Sure, some veteran players are butthurt because the rolls on gear that you get are no longer set, so that's no longer just RNG, which makes getting the God gear easy. As someone who's not want to mindlessly grind some simple PvE content in order to get an RNG drop with RNG rolls, I really do like the gear system in Destiny 2. I don't need to play as much, just tagging events when I've already proven myself in the harder endgame group activities. Complaints, such as having the game being pay to win with buying silver to get bright engrams, is a joke. Sure, you might get a blue weapon mod, but it'll just be a shitty blue. Ships, shaders, and emotes are not balance breaking. Oh my god, Shibby! Shaders are a one-time use, all the way home. Relax. Shaders drop like candy once max level, and being one-time use, I don't have a problem with. Having pledged New Monarchy and winning the latest faction war on my Titan, he's looking more like Iron Man right now. I have more shaders than I'll ever get gear in the game. I did the Prestige Nightfall last night for my Aura, the Leviathan raid to completion the night before that, and a near perfect 7-1 Trials of the 9 run on Sunday. I'm doing my best to soak in all the content available on my way to 305, and I'm pleasantly pleased with the amount of material put into the game. The Leviathan raid feels more like one of those smaller planets when you factor in the enormous underbelly, which a lot of people don't even know is there, Leviathan, of that raid. It's huge. Once again, it's impressive the amount of work that went into that instance in which not a majority of players will ever see. Overall, the amount of bullshit that does come out these days, such as Star Wars, with its pay-to-win blind box gambling that you need to progress that it actually has performance improving mechanics behind it, which should be criminal, Destiny 2 and Bungie are actually doing a pretty good job and well for themselves. Is the game perfect? No, not at all, but once again, compared to the other AAA releases as of late, Destiny 2 doesn't completely eat ass. I must give it a 10 out of, at least it's not Battlefront 2. So don't at me on Battle.net because you ain't ready for the better devils, baby. I'm out.
Okay, whatever ships. We've got to have one more crack at EA and Star Wars, so let's take off the rose-colored glasses and look back at the first Battlefront from last year to see what people thought of that one, without all the industry fluff. Maybe we could have seen this whole thing coming, right? All right, well, here's a review from Amazon user Brad, who probably looks great and is fucking all your girlfriends right now. He titled his review, "This isn't terrible if you've never experienced a video game before." He had this to say.
This isn't terrible if you've never experienced a video game before. It provides the basics, and little else. EA and their infinite wisdom managed to put little to no effort into what could have been a very memorable title. I'm honestly quite baffled by the production of this game. EA is greedy, sure, but they usually tries to be slightly less see-through in regards to their cash grab schemes. It's like they're using this game as an entry fee for their third-year nomination as Worst Company in America. This game feels so bland and sterile. I think a video game designer who was merely a nerdy student programmer could have done a better job. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is superior to this game, and it's 10 years old. It's just so boring. The content is laughably paper thin. It's like purchasing 40% of a game, and I'm being generous with my percentage. I lost interest within 3 hours. Go buy Battlefront 2. I'll remember not to support EA and their business ventures in the future. 1 star.
Okay, he's referring to the Battlefront 2 from 2005.
I think they're trying to trick people.
And and now I'm thinking, I thought the Battlefront just came out last year. That's how long this year has felt. But it's actually 2 years ago.
You know what I'm going to do?
3 years ago now.
I got a great idea.
Yeah?
I'm going to go buy Battlefront 2. It's $10 on Steam.
Yeah.
Log on to Twitch.
Stream that.
Select game, Battlefront 2.
Nah, it's too, the waters are too muddy. Too many people playing the real one. Too popular. For now. It'll last a 1 week. It'll last. Just like last time. Man, this game's really fun. Ah, fuck. You mean there's nothing bringing me back to this except the carrot on a stick that is Darth Vader?
But it's got Darth Vader!
Never underestimate the passion of gamers to want to be the most evil man in the galaxy.
Why can't I play as the Nazis?
I'd play 40 hours to play as Hitler in Call of Duty. I mean, I'll play Darth Vader.
Wolfenstein 2 seems a bit one-sided for me.
Anyways, guys, follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/etc_show, where we're going to be live streaming from now on because we can't do it here, as we said before. Also, check out our expose on the Creepy Kids videos that exist on YouTube and why they're not demonetized. And be sure to check out last week's Tugs because EA's not the only bad company, guys.
No, they're all pretty bad.